So this is the task for exploratory data analysis in sports. So in this we are going to see that how we can do exploratory data analysis in the sports data set. So we are importing the required libraries for the analysis. In the step 2 we are importing the data set. So we are importing the deliveries.csv. We are reading that data set. So here it shows that data set is read successfully. So we are displaying the deliveries data set. So we can see that there is many categories in this data set: match ID, innings, batting team, bowling team, the over, ball, batsman, non-striker, bowler, super over, and so on. So there is 1,79,078 rows and 21 columns. So in this next step we are reading the matches data set. So in this it contains the IDs, the seasons of the matches, the city in which the match is played, date, team 1, team 2, who won the toss, and the decision which the winning team chooses, the result, and so on. So in this data set there is 756 rows and 18 columns. So in this next step, step 3, the pre-processing of the data, we are displaying the first 5 rows of the matches data set. So in the first 5 rows we can see that there's Royal Challengers, Rising Pune Super Giant, and KKR, Kings XI Punjab, and Delhi Daredevils. So in this next step we are displaying the last 5 rows of the matches data set. So you can see that in last 5 there is Mumbai Indians twice and Delhi Capitals CSK twice. So here we are displaying team 1, which and all teams are playing in the first team. So we can see that there is Sunrisers Hyderabad, Mumbai Indians, Gujarat Lions, so on. And in the team 2, which is the qualifiers 2, we can see that these many teams are playing: RCB, Rising Pune Super Giants, KKR, so on. So we are displaying the batting team over here, and we are displaying the bowling team over here, and we are replacing the big names with the small names, short forms like RCB, SRH, PW, MI, KKR, GL, Kings XI Punjab, KXIP, DDCS, KRR, DC, KTK, PW, RPS, and DC. So now we are replacing in the deliveries data set also. So here was matches, here it is deliveries data set. Next we are going to print the total match played. So there is 756, and the venues which is played at. So you can see that the venues, and we are displaying the teams which they are going to play, the team 1. So here we are going to display the number of venues which they have played at, and the total umpires, which is 61. Next we are going to display the most number of man of the match awards won by Cricket, and which is the team which has won the highest number of match wins. So that's Mumbai Indians. So next we are displaying the data types of the matches. So ID is of int, season is of int, city is of object, and so on. So we are displaying the unique IDs. So many IDs are there in this column, and this column, and this cities column, and so on. So matches.info will display the full data summary of the matches data set. You can see this column and the type and count, which data type it belongs to. So the statistical summary of the data can be seen in this describe script, and then it displays the count, mean, standard deviation, and so on, with the ID, season, and then win, wickets, and so on. So in this observation we can find that this IPL matches starting from the season 2008 to 2019, The big margin of the victory for some batting team is 146, and the biggest victory of the team batting second is the win by wickets is 10 wickets. So 75% of winning teams has batted first with a margin of over 19 run won, and 75% of the win is by 6 wickets, which is chose by batting second. So there were 756 IPL matches hosted from 2008 to 2019. So here they are displaying the columns in that matches dataset, and here we are getting the unique values of each columns. We can see that there is this many number of unique columns in the matches dataset. We are finding out the null values in each of the IDs. You can see that there is no null values in IDs, there is no null values in season, there are 7 null values in cities, and so on. It's displayed over here. So we are dropping the columns having significant number of null values using this drop function, and we are verifying the dropped column whether it's dropped or not. So umpire 3 is dropped over here in this one. So and then we can see the null values in this column, and then there is filling of 0, the null values in the matches dataset. So you can see that DL applied is replaced with the null. So there are 756 rows and 18 columns, and that is again executed with the number of null values in each IDs. You can see that there is no null values in the columns in the matches dataset. So we have successfully replaced null values with zeros. So we are displaying the deliveries dataset data type. So the match ID is int, innings is int, batting team is object, and so on. And we are displaying the number of rows and columns in this deliveries dataset. There is 1,79,078 rows and 21 columns. And the deliveries dataset data type, it is match ID is winning, innings is int, batting team is object, so on. So we are displaying the information of deliveries dataset over here. You can see columns, count type, and data type. We are describing the deliveries dataset over here. So you can see that count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, max, so on. So we are displaying the columns of deliveries dataset, which is match ID, innings, batting team, bowling team, so on. And next we are counting the null values in the dataset, which is, you can see that there are 0, but here there are some null values in the dataset. So what we are going to do is we are going to count the number of null values in the delivery dataset, which is 5,13,118 values. So we are analyzing the data, which team has won the maximum number of runs. So we can see that Delhi has won the matches in 2017 season, which is having the ID 44, and then the team 1, team 2 which has played, and the DD has won the toss, and then decision is choose to field, and then the winner was Mumbai Indians. It won by 146 runs. Player of the match was Simmons. Venue was Firoz Chakotla. Umpire was Nitin Menon, and second umpire was Nandan. There was no third umpire over here. So which team had won the maximum number of wickets, which can be found out from the matches dataset. So the ID number 3, season 2017, Rajkot team City, it was Rajkot City played in, and then the date team 1 was Pune Super Giants, and team 2 was Kings 11 Punjab, KKR, and the toss one was by KKR, and so on. So which team has won the minimum number of margin was Mumbai Indians. Which team won by minimum wickets was KKR. And then number of matches in this season were 12. So we are replacing S0 with null values in deliveries dataset. So we are displaying the deliveries dataset. So we are finding out there are no null values in the deliveries dataset. So we are going to find out the teams with most number of wins per season. So you can see that 2008 winner was Rajasthan Royals with 13 number of matches won and so on. In 2019 it was Kings 11 Punjab with 6 matches won. So we can see that in which year which team had won, by how many matches it was won over here, and win per season in 2008 and which team has won, and which, like how many matches it was won was seen in this command. So here we are going to visualize the data. So here we are visualizing the data. Here the IPL venues which was displayed, the number of matches played: Eden Garden 77, Wankhede Stadium 73, Chinnaswamy 73, and so on. The most successful IPL team can be found out over here, so which was Mumbai Indians with 109 wins. So IPL victories per team, you can see that Mumbai Indians has total number of most number of victories. The most valuable player can be seen over here, and the top 10 most valuable players are Chris Gayle, A.B. de Villiers, Rohit Sharma, MS Dhoni, Warner, Pathan, Watson, Reina, Gambhir, Kohli, with Gayle with 21 wins. So you can see that Chris Gayle has more number of, he was the top IPL player, and the least IPL player is Virat Kohli in the data set over here. Team that has won the most number of toss can be seen over here, and the number of toss wins per team can be seen, like Mumbai Indians won most number of tosses, 98, and it can be shown in the graph over here. So we can see that Mumbai Indians has won the most number of tosses till 2019 IPL history. The number of matches won by the team can be seen over here. So we can see that Mumbai Indians has won the most number of matches. So here we can see the match result. Like there are 9 ties. There are 743 normal matches, 9 ties, no result matches. So that can be plotted over here. The toss decision, we can see that those who choose to field first, which has won in 2019, and bat first, which has won in 2013, and so on. Maximum toss winner, we can see that MI has won a maximum number of 98 tosses, followed by KKR 92 tosses and CSK 89 tosses. Matches played across each season can be seen over here. So in 2013 there are maximum number of matches played, which is above 79. It is above 79. So the top 10 batsmen for this data set, we can see that Virat Kohli, followed by Suresh Raina and Rohit Sharma. Number of matches won by the winning toss side, we can see that RCB is a winner over here. Number of matches won by batting and bowling first. So we are displaying the matches over here, like season, city, date, time, etc. So we will print the winner side over here, so which season which team had won, and then we will print the number of season won by the teams. So 4 matches was won by Mumbai Indians in this season, and then 3 matches by CSK, 2 by KKR, so on. So we'll print the toss winner over here. So toss winner was Mumbai Indians. They chose to bat and winning was Mumbai Indians. So we'll print the man of the matches in each of the matches, which is Mumbai Indians, which player of the match was Hardik Pandya. So we'll print the number of fours hit by the team, which is CSK, which is 2193 fours. So we can see the toss result over here. Like the teams which won the toss and chose to bat won by 58.3%, which team chose to field won by 41.7%. So we'll plot the graph for the number of fours hit by the players. We can see Shikhar Dhawan hitting most number of fours, followed by Raina, Gambhir, and so on. So we'll plot a graph on number of fours hit in each season. We can see that 2013 was the season which was seen number of fours. So we'll print the number of sixes hit by team. We will see here CSK has hit the most number of sixes with 973 sixes. So we'll plot a graph of 6 hit by the player. So we can see that number of 6 hit by Gale is more, followed by ABD Villiers, MS Dhoni. So we'll plot a graph on number of 6 hit in each season. So 2018 has seen most number of 4 hitting season. Now we are going to plot number of matches played by each batsman. So number of matches is 1,70,000. Raina played 162, Sharma played 155, Uttapa played 153, so on. So dismissal in IPL, which can be seen, which is more than 1 lakh. So this is the bowler's data and the number of wickets that the IPL bowler has taken. So conclusion, we can state that the highest number of match played in IPL season was 2013-14-15. Number of matches won by Mumbai Indians were 4 out of 12 matches. And the teams which bowl first has higher chances of winning than the team which bat first. Teams which bowl first has higher chances of winning than the team which bat first. After winning toss, more teams decide to field first. In the final, team which decide to field first win matches more than the team which bat first. In the final, most teams after winning they choose to bat first. So the highest number of matches played by a player is Suresh Raina and Rohit Sharma.